Since our early ancestors started constructing tools millennia ago, there have been many twists and turns in the development of human technology. Some products and processes seem to have been lost to our collective memory, with the only evidence of their existence the random findings of these astonishing artifacts. Antikythera mechanism. A sunken 2,000-year-old Roman cargo ship, discovered in 1900, revealed amongst its numerous treasures what is now known to be the world's first analogue computer. The ancient hand-powered device had been dated as far back as 205 BC and was used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses for calendar and astrological purposes. Its timekeeping capacity could project decades in advance, and it was even used to track the 4-year cycle of athletic games, as with the cycle of the ancient Olympic Games. The instrument was amongst plundered loot, thought to be destined for Julius Caesar's collection, and is believed to have been designed and constructed by Greek scientists. While found as a compacted lump, X-ray tomography and high-resolution surface scanning revealed it to have a complex clockwork mechanism with 37 meshing bronze gear wheels. The machine was able to be reconstructed and has the mind-blowing capacity to follow the movements of the moon and sun through the zodiac, to predict eclipses, and even to model the irregular orbit of the moon, suggesting to researchers that the 2nd century BC astronomer Hipparchus of Rhodes may have been consulted in its construction. The truly perplexing fact is that knowledge of this technology was lost at some point in ancient history. Olmec compass. Archaeologists have found that an ancient Mesoamerican culture was able to detect, mine and utilize magnetic material. This naturally magnetic carved fragment was found in a 3,000-year-old Olmec mound in Veracruz, Mexico, and shows a high level of refinement in its construction. Thought to be part of a larger bar, it had been polished on its surface and bears a groove running approximately, and probably by design, parallel to the edges along one of the flattened surfaces. If made to float, the object points consistently in the direction of 35.5 degrees west of magnetic north. The Olmecs are thought to have used the bar as a compass by placing on a mat in water or floating it in mercury made by the heating and melting of the mineral cinnabar. This effectively turned the object into a compass by which the Olmecs would be able to orient their northwest-turned temples. In fact, all the buildings in the Olmec sites of San Lorenzo, La Venta and others are placed orientated in the direction indicated by the compass, which predates the first Chinese compass by 1,000 years. The Bagong pipes. For nearly 2 decades, scientists have been trying to determine who constructed this massive complex of iron pipes 150,000 years ago, when humans had barely learnt to control fire. In China's Qinghai province near Mount Bogong stands a majestic but now eroded pyramid with 3 triangular entrances to internal caves. The caves house a massive metal pipe-like structures that are connected to a nearby saltwater lake called Lake Tonson. The iron tubes run in haphazard patterns and have varying diameters from needle-thin at the narrowest to 16 inches in diameter. The iron pipes are also found within the lake, some protruding above the water's surface and others submerged under the lake's bed, as well as rising along the beach. Many of the hollow pipes are uniform in size and appear to be laid in a purposeful manner, but the ancient structures are embedded so deep into the mountain wall and floor as to make human investigation difficult. Dating conducted by the Beijing Institute of Geology using thermoluminescence has revealed that these iron pipes were smelted about 150,000 years ago. Archaeologists surmise that the pipe system was constructed to supply water to the pyramid due to the multiple connections with the lake. Chinese historians believe that humans did not inhabit the region until some 30,000 years ago, and even them were nomadic. The manufactured metal pipes installed in the ancient rock cave required metallurgical skills that were beyond the technology of any known civilization in the area or anywhere in the world at that time. In 2002, 9 Chinese scientists were officially sent to the area to undertake a detailed analysis of the pipes. However, there has been little information forthcoming from these studies. The Chinese Academy of Social Sciences does not dismiss the possibility of a hitherto unknown advanced civilization constructing the complex. Research fellow Zhang Zhi was quoted as telling Xinhua news agency that this theory is understandable and worth looking into, but science would have to determine whether or not it is true, basically confirming that the pyramid may well have been built by some advanced group which has left no other evidence of its existence. At some stage, the techniques of this prehistoric civilization were lost to the humans who migrated in to inhabit the region, as well as the production of a strange unknown metal. The substance was found when the pipes were analysed at a local smeltery, and 8% of the material from which they were made from could not be identified. Further intensifying the mystery is that there are strangely shaped stones like broken pillars protruding from the ground, and scientists have also not worked out what these are made of. The 60-metre pyramid positioned near the mountain's summit is possibly explained as having been shaped by natural forces. Scientifically, it is still early days, as the structure has not been extensively studied, at least officially. The pyramid certainly appears to be intrinsic to the design of the network of rusty pipes emerging from deep within the mountain and forming the massive conduits either to or from Lake Tonson, 260 feet away. Locals living nearby have known of the pipes for centuries. They attribute their construction to mysterious ancient interlopers and have traditional legends describing strange visitors to Mount Baigong. The accepted narrative is that the now rusted tubes were transported here from deep space, and the theory has so much local support that a monument bearing Kuroda's satellite dish has been established near the mountain. One theory about the strange phenomenon is that the apparent pipes are actually fossilized tree roots, similar to some found in Louisiana. One geological theory holds that given certain temperatures and chemical conditions, tree roots can cause the transformation of soil into rock and create iron formations. However, this still does not explain the presence of the unknown metallic substance and the dozens of pipe openings which have also been discovered in the mountains far above the caves, again suggesting some advanced system of drilling unknown in the area and not historically recorded. The strange Tonson Lake structures also remain unexplained, confirming a Chinese tourist guide's comment, "We don't know how to do this anymore." First battery. In 1938, German archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig was exploring a 2,000-year-old Parthian town in Iraq when he came across a small earthenware jar with an asphalt stopper. Projecting out of the top was an iron rod set inside a copper cylinder. The arrangement reminded him of a dry cell battery, a hunch which was confirmed by the further discovery of rods apparently corroded by acid, possibly vinegar or wine. Later replication of the setup was conducted in the late 1940s by American scientist Willard F.M. Gray of the General Electric High Voltage Laboratory in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. He found that when filled with an electrolytic solution like grape juice, the jar produces about 2 volts of electricity. The generally accepted conclusion is that the ancient Parthians had generated electricity many centuries before its modern-day invention in 1800 by Count Alessandro Volta. Unfortunately, there is no written record detailing the exact function of the jar due to the destruction of Iranian literary sources and libraries by later invaders of the region. Some scientists believe that the primitive batteries were galvanic cells used to electroplate objects, which would involve layering one metal like gold over the surface of another, such as silver, a process still used in Greater Iran today. Another theory is that the device was used to provide a pain relief therapy through a kind of electroacupuncture. Oumuamua. In 2017, the University of Hawaii's NASA-funded telescope spotted an awe-inspiring technological oddity, which is now claimed to be the first known interstellar object to be detected moving through our solar system. Dubbed Oumuamua, which is a Hawaiian word meaning a messenger from afar arriving first, the rocky cigar-shaped object was observed to have a reddish tone and to carry no dust on its surface. It appeared flattened and highly elongated to a surprising degree, up to 1/4 of a mile long and probably 10 times longer than it is wide. Observed as behaving like neither a comet nor an asteroid, its progress suggested to scientists that the unusual object had been travelling through the Milky Way unattached to any star system for billions of years before its brief foray into our solar system. Tenured academic and the chair of Harvard's Department of Astronomy, Avi Loeb, has made the astonishing suggestion that the object may be a fully operational probe sent intentionally to Earth's vicinity by a now extinct civilization. He argues that its shape is too perfect to have been formed naturally and that it deviates from its expected orbit. It is also slightly accelerated, as if it carries a power source or is able to tap into free solar power well in our vicinity, which enables it to regulate its movements. Unfortunately, Oumuamua was detected only a short time before it had exited our planetary neighbourhood, so that thorough real-time investigations were not possible. However, the object was observed to speed up during its visit to our inner solar system, an acceleration not accounted for by the Sun's gravity. An acceleration can be caused by outgassing, such as that seen in the tail of a comet, but observations of Oumuamua did not indicate a comet tail or gas emissions, which would also have changed how the rock was rotating. Loeb has expressed his belief to multiple media outlets that the object has been made by artificial means, that is, by technological civilization. He has also stated that it's possible that the civilization which sent out the spacecraft is no longer in existence. He theorized that the object could be a discarded light sail. Just as a sailing boat harnesses the wind in its sail to push it along, a spacecraft with a light sail uses the light source from a nearby star to propel its progress. To have sourced this form of power, called solar radiation pressure, the object would have to be extremely light and with a millimetre thick outer layer. Whether operational or discarded, Loeb's theory remains that Oumuamua may well be a product of intelligent design by a now defunct civilization.